Hey guys, Oblivion here, coming at you with the deck profile on my HeraldicScrap beast deck that you guys have been seeing me just wreck face with for a couple of days now. I've been playtesting this deck actually for a couple of weeks. You guys have only seen a couple of videos that I've actually recorded with the actual deck. But this deck is super fun. It's just a great combination of two archetypes that mix really well together. I mean, they're all Earths except for three cards in particular, which are Wind, but still have some really great plays with, and they're all Beast again except for those three cards. But I built this deck also to be budget, and when I mean budget, I guess I mean my budgetness, because now that I find myself playing a lot more in real life than I do, like, let's say on Dueling Network, I want everything I build to be budget. That if I like that, I could go and literally build it for about $20, right? And I really want that, so I decided to make a budget variation of scraps without using the Geargia engine, and I decided to come up with Heraldics one. And Heraldics are the type of archetype that you can mix in with anything and still kind of keep the same old engine and even increase the consistency of a deck. So guys, this is going to be kind of a long video because I want to explain some of the combos and stuff. So if you guys just want to, like, you know, look at the picture and like copy the cards, then that's fine. But I'm going to go over some of the card combos and what they do for the deck. So I apologize, but this is going to be a rather long video for you guys, especially for those people that are kind of new to Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Scraps in particular, or even Heraldics. So anyways guys, let's just get on with the deck profile. I'm running 3 Scrap Beasts. He's a Earth, level 4. He's your only tuner in the deck. He's a Beast. 1600 attack, 1300 defense. So he has a pretty okay standing attack for being level 4, I guess. Really, his first effect really doesn't matter as much. His second effect is what matters, and it's if this card is destroyed by the effect of a scrap card and sent to the graveyard, you can select one scrap monster in your graveyard and add that card to your hand, except Beast. And I'll be going over a very basic combo that you could essentially +1. You essentially +1. So yeah. So 3 of him, he's the main tuner and the only tuner of the deck. 3 Scrap Chimera, he is your Debris Dragon of the deck. Basically, when he's summoned, target 1 scrap monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. And if he's 1700 attack, so if he were to be used as a synchro material monster, the synchro card that you synchro summon has to be a scrap monster. It has to be, because it's a condition. But remember that you could XYZ, you don't have to synchro, remember guys, because even I forget sometimes that it's like, oh hey, you know, I have 2 level 4 monsters on board, I could XYZ, and it'll get me out of tricky situations. So yeah, remember, you don't always have to synchro. For the Heraldic engine, that's for the Scrap engine, it's basic Scrap lineup. It's only these 6 monsters. Now for the Heraldic engine, we're running 3 Heraldic Beast Abercrombie. He's a level 4 Wind and a Dragon, so he's the only odd man out, with all the other ones being beasts and stuff like that. Abercrombie, his effect really doesn't matter. What really matters is just that he's an 1800 body, so he's an okay. You could literally run Abercrombie at 1 if you wanted to, like fit in like a Redox or something like that. Personally, I don't like Redox in the deck just because I hate to lose hand advantage, but that's just me. That really is just me. But I mean, you guys can test it out, tell me how it works for you guys. Abercrombie, I just have it at 3 just to kind of fill in that lone monster slot, and as well just to kind of make my heraldic spells as live as possible. Plus, he does open up a pretty fun play that you can go into, like with Lightning Chidori. Chidori has saved me a lot of times in games, so that's why I just kind of opted to run 3 Abercrombie. You know, it's always good. It's always good. My favorite heraldic monster, hands down, Heraldic Beast Basilisk. He's a Earth, level 4. He's a Beast, has 1000 attack, 1400 defense, so he's pretty weak, but his effect is what makes him worthwhile. After damage calculation, destroy any opponent's monster that battles this card. So that effect doesn't target, so it automatically, the card says this card cannot be targeted. The effect doesn't target, so it still gets destroyed. Like I said, it's a pretty awesome effect. If like they decide to, I don't know, I can't think of anything, attack with Lumina, right? That it's attacking with the Lumina, Basilisk, and Lumina is 1000 attack, right? He has 1400 defense. Lumina gets destroyed during the end phase. I'm sorry, not during the end phase, after that battle. So it's still pretty good. I really enjoy Basilisk. It's one of my favorite Heraldic Beast monsters. And for the main Heraldic Beast card monster, Heraldic Beast Leo, most people, you guys know, he's a beast, 2000 beater. During the he's a BCI level Earth level 4. During the end phase that this card was summoned, normal summoned, I'm sorry, destroy this card, and when this card is sent to the graveyard, you add one Heraldic Beast monster from your deck to your hand, except Leo. So, I've always said that Heraldics have very great potential. I don't believe on their own they have great potential just because they're not really budget friendly, because you need to run like Direwolf and stuff like that. But still, Heraldic Beast Leo, it opens up some very important plays. I recommend, guys, if you're going first turn, and like you open up Leo, I recommend not normal summoning Leo. I recommend actually setting Leo, because then he doesn't get destroyed by his own effect. And during your next turn, if your opponent doesn't destroy him, you could flip summon him, and then he won't be destroyed during the end phase. Or you could go into some XYZ plays. Also, something I really like to do, but you know what, I'll leave that for a few. For the heraldic spells, we're running advanced heraldry art. We're only running 2 because we don't want it to clog. Remember that this is a mixed archetype deck, so we're running heraldics and scraps. Advanced heraldry art is just your 1-card XYZ. Target 2 heraldic monsters in your graveyard. Special summon those targets. Immediately after this card resolves, XYZ summon 1 XYZ monster using those 2 monsters only. So, yeah, it's a pretty good card. It's a 1-card XYZ. There's really 1-card combos in this deck. 2 Heraldic Reborn, target 1 Heraldic Beast monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So it's your monster reborn essentially for Heraldics. Allows you to get your Basilisk, your Aberconways, your Leos. Really fun play I really like to do is usually with like a Scrap Beast at hand and a Leo in the grave, and I don't know, like some way of bringing Leo back could be called Haunted or Heraldic Reborn. But for this example, let's use Heraldry Reborn. So during your turn, you're gonna activate Heraldry Reborn, special summon your Leo, normal summon your Beast, then you could either decide to XYZ or Synchro, but let's say in this particular thing, you're gonna Synchro. You Synchro off these 2 for whatever you need, a Crimson Blade or a Scrap or a Stardust or whatever you need in particular. After that, you get your Heraldic Beast Leo search because it's a mandatory effect. Just like Goblin Zombie, it does not miss the timing. So you still get your effect, plus you brought out a 2800, 2500 body out on the field. So it's pretty awesome. It's one of my favorite combos of the deck. 3 Scrap Storm for the Scrap spells now. Scrap Storm is a very key part. Usually first turn, what you want to see in your hand is a Scrap Beast and a Scrap Storm. A very easy play to do. It's kind of, this is like the way you kind of plus off. You normal summon the Scrap Beast. Let's say your opponent bottomless activates something to destroy the Scrap Beast. You could chain the Scrap Storm, and then you target your Scrap Beast. Scrap Storm effect states that send 1 Scrap monster from your deck to your graveyard, and then draw 1 card, and then destroy the selected monster, which you're going to select Scrap Beast. So Scrap Beast will be destroyed, and then since Scrap Beast got destroyed by a Scrap effect card, you could activate the effect to add 1 Scrap monster from your graveyard to your hand, which you're going to add the Scrap Chimera, which is really, really good. So then you have a Scrap, you have basically a Scrap Dragon play next turn, or an XYZ play next turn. So yeah, that's why. Pretty good. You draw and you get to add a card from your really good card. So yeah. 2 Scrapyard. Just because you are only running 3 tuners, I just wanted to see as much as possible. And now that Thunder King is down to 1, there's really very little that can stop your searching. And plus, I mean, you even have your Heraldic Beast Basilisk or your Heraldic Beast Leo to beat over it. So can't really say much about that. So yeah, 2 Scrapyard. It's really good. I wouldn't run more than 2. I wouldn't really run less than 1. You at least have to run it at 1. 2 Pot of Duality. Just for consistency, you could draw into more of your traps, your needed spells, or your needed monsters. Duality, good at 2. You wouldn't run it at 3 because you do special summon a lot in this deck. 2 MST, because MST, I really dislike back row. Even though you're mostly going to be popping stuff, you want your monsters to go through, your monster effects, your summons to go through. And for the 1-for-1s, we're running 1 Foolish Burial to dump the Beast or the Leo, and the 1 Dark Hole, because Dark Hole is still an amazing card in my opinion. It saved my butt many games. For the trap lineup, we're running 10 traps, which is actually kind of a lot. 3 Fiendish Chains. If you are a scrap noob that does not know how to play scraps at all, essentially you want to run a lot of continuous trap cards that you could still utilize even when, let's say, your opponent's monster is not there, or you wasted it and it's kind of clogging up back row. You never clog up back row in this deck because of Scrap Dragon, which I'll be going over in a few. So 3 Fiendish Chain because it's really important to stop effects, and I'm not running Veiler. 2 Call the Haunted because it's great to get your beast, any monster, you know, and go into a quick XYZ or synchro. Now, I believe I have to talk about this card. 2 Royal Decree. Royal Decree is more of a defensive card for me, an offensive card. Nowadays, a lot of decks play traps. This is a solid tier 2 deck. It's up there with Heroes or any tier 2 deck. It's a really, really good card. Decree is just great for anything, basically. I told you guys before, you want your monsters to go through, you want your effects to go through, you want their summons to be okay. So, during the end phase, you know, you flip the Royal Decree during your opponent's turn, so they can't do anything, they can't chain to anything if they don't have an MST. And then next turn go into a Chimera go into Beast, and then synchro it up for a Scrap Dragon. And then you can pop one of your cards, you can target your Royal Decree on one of your opponent's cards to destroy them, and then just go for an attack. So that's why Royal Decree is really good in my opinion. In place of Royal Decree, if you guys don't want to run the Royal Decree, I guess you could run Horn of the Phantom Beast, because Horn of the Phantom Beast, I mean, it combos with literally the whole entire deck. You got the Scrap Beast, the Leo, the Basilisk, which has an amazing effect, especially with Horn. So yeah. And for the 1-ofs of the deck, we're running 1 Compulse, 1 Bottomless, and 1 Torrential Tribute. And you can take the Bottomless out for a warning, but honestly, I just don't like the price of warning, so yeah. For the side deck, since like I said, I really do enjoy this deck, I built a side deck for it. 2 Flying Sea, because it's literally my favorite side deck card, hands down. It's great against anything. Flying Sea is so good. 2 Fossil Dyna, because you do kind of special summon a lot in this deck, but still Fossil Dyna is a great card in general. I can't really say much about Fossil Dyna. It's so good, you know, you'll utilize it offensively most of the time, so yeah. 2 Maxi, because Maxi, you know, it's an Earth, you know, you could basically side it in against Dragon Rulers or something like that, you know, where you're not really going to need the Abercon away. For the spells, we're running 2 Kaiser Coliseum. Essentially what this card is that your opponent cannot control more monsters than you do. So, you control 1 monster, your opponent can only control 1 monster. And let's say you're facing a deck that Dragon Rulers, it really hurts them unless they have the Blaster or the MST. Or even Dragonides, it kills Dragonides and all that type of stuff because, yeah. And for the last spell, the 3rd MST for trap heavy decks, of course. For the trap of my side deck, we're running 2 Rivalry of Warlords, because really the only card that hurts this is the Abercon away. But this card kills, you know, stuff like Evil Swarms, Constellars, all that jazz, you know, it's really good. I tried to fit Goes and Match in here, but it couldn't fit, so yeah, I decided to go into the Kaiser Coliseum. 2 DNA Surgery, because it kills decks like Prophecy, Call Beast, and they can't do anything. They can't Fate because you can't do anything. Or against Boojins, you guys can call Beasts, or I mean, I don't know, something ridiculous like Divine God or Divine Beast or whatever. Yeah, and it kills that deck as well because they have to control a face-up Beast Warrior to activate their effects. And 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors, because I mean, why not? Yeah. For the extra deck, we're running 3 Scrap Dragon. In any scrap-based deck, you have to run 3 Scrap Dragon. He has 2800 attack, 2000 defense. He's a dragon, and it's an Earth, level 8 synchro. Once per turn, you can target 1 card you control and 1 card your opponent controls, destroy them. So that's why you run a lot of continuous trap cards. And then if this card will be destroyed either by your opponent's, either by battle or by your opponent's card effect, and sent to the graveyard, target 1 non-synchro scrap monster in your graveyard and special summon that target, which you're gonna go for the Scrap Beast, and then you have like a play next turn. 1 Crimson Blader, because Crimson Blader is literally like God this format. It really is. So yeah, Crimson Blader, and 1 Stardust. For the XYZ portion of the extra deck, we're running 1 Cowboy, 1 Gemini Pearl, 1 Lightning Chidori, 1 Maestro, 1 Utopia, 1 Crazy Box for those crazy plays, 1 number 50 Black Ship of Corn, 1 Photon Pappy, 1 Queen Dragoon Djinn. It's a really good card, basically a monster reborn for your dragons, but their effects are negated. And like I said, Scrap Dragon's effect that if it gets destroyed activates in Grave, so you still get the special summon. And the 1 number 8 Heraldic King Genome Heritage, for those when your opponent has a big eye, steal their big eye, and then activate big eye's effect. And then, well, I don't think this, because it negates that monster's effect, I believe. Yeah, its effects are negated, so yeah, you can't activate big eye's effect. But still, you get a 2600 beat stick. So anyways, guys, that's that for you guys. hopefully you guys enjoy this. It's a really weird, unorthodox deck, but it's very fun, and I recommend playing it for any of you guys that want to try something new. And this has been Oblivion. Catch you guys later. Deuces.